Well, I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving with your family and friends yesterday. And if you bet a little football action, according to the handicappers here at the site, you made a bloody fortune because with the lone exception of Brett Atkins, every single handicapper here at the site had a winning Thursday. In fact, there were 6 handicapper selections that I had as discounted plays yesterday, and all 6 of them won at a discount, none bigger than Chris Jordan. Props going out to him because he had an ultra rare play yesterday, his one and only blank check NFL Game of the Year release, and he improved to 16-8 in his 34 years as a professional handicapper with that play, as the Detroit Lions did what they do best, coming back in the fourth quarter to win against the Minnesota Vikings. Listen, guys, in yesterday's video report, when I gave you the free play on the Lions, did I not tell you that going into that game yesterday, the Lions had trailed in the fourth quarter of every single game this season, and the straight-up winner of every single one of Detroit's games this year had also covered the spread? Well, both things happened, and both things resulted in a win, and you got that play yesterday as the half-price play of the day. So congratulations going out to Chris, who has another big featured play today on the Apple Cup showdown for the Pac-12 North title between Washington and Washington State. You can get that discounted play information over on the homepage. Also going today, I'd say the biggest of all the plays goes from Steve Buden's Cali Cartel. Not only yesterday did you get their NFL winner number 14 out of 18 on Washington at over half price off. And that was, I think, their 6th straight NFL winner. That was a 50-dime play. Today, their very first 100-dime college football release of the season, their 2016 mismatch of the year. It's the half price play of the day from the Cali Cartel. Number 1 college football crew the past 3 years. Now, they just hit their very first 100-dime NFL release of the season this past Sunday when you got Seattle over Philadelphia. Same thing. It's one of your games today, and it's the half-price play of the day simply by using coupon code CALI, C-A-L-I. All your other discounts, all your other coupon codes, etc., are over on the homepage. As for me yesterday, I cashed in with your best bet last night, which was actually Pittsburgh, and also a 2-0 sweep with the complimentary plays yesterday. College football gave you a winner on LSU. That was an easy one against Texas A&M. And as I noted earlier, I gave you a free winner on the Detroit Lions getting the job done at home against the Vikings. So the complimentary plays in the NFL now so far this season, 29, 13, and 2 with the NFL freebies. Let's talk about a little college football action today. Got a number of complimentary plays for you. Let's start with the, let's see, I want to do these in reverse chronological order for you. I'm going to go with North Carolina and NC State. This is a series that has definitely been dominated by the dog. Listen, the underdog has gone 15-3 against the spread in the last 18 meetings. This game is in Chapel Hill today. North Carolina State is the underdog. North Carolina State needs a win in order to become bowl eligible. And the road team, which is North Carolina State, the 10.5-point underdog, has won and covered the last three meetings. And there has been 12 outright upsets in the last 18 meetings. As far as I'm concerned, North Carolina, hey, I am off the Tar Heels bandwagon. I'm not sure if I was ever really on them after they managed to lose outright as a double-digit favorite against Duke a couple of Thursdays ago. How did they prep for this game? They beat up the Citadel last week in a non-conference game. Now, North Carolina State, of course, was losing once more to Miami, Florida. This is a team that never really rebounded, never really got it back together after that near miss at Clemson, a game that they should have won, then lost in overtime. This is a team that just simply has fallen to pieces since then. Maybe it's a lack of mental toughness. I don't know. But the fact is that North Carolina State has lost 5 out of 6, starting with that loss at Clemson, with the lone win in that stretch coming against Syracuse at the Carrier Dome. In the 5 losses, they have scored a total of 77 points. Now, I understand losing to Clemson. I understand losing to Louisville. I understand losing to Florida State. I understand losing to Miami, Florida. How the hell you lost to Boston College in that 5-game stretch? I don't understand that at all. Now, here's the question. Can they stay within 10.5 points of North Carolina today? I'm going to go in this rivalry, and I'm going to grab the points with NC State. I think North Carolina is the superior offensive team. But we have seen North Carolina lay so many eggs in big games at times this season. Yes, did North Carolina go to Florida State and beat the Seminoles in Tallahassee? They sure did. But this is a team that is not that great defensively. NC State can play a little defense. I just don't know if NC State can put enough points on the board. But all the technical trends certainly back the Wolfpack and the underdog and the road team in this particular series. So I'm willing to go with NC State in this particular contest and look for them to keep it within the number. NC State has very good run defense. So North Carolina's got to beat them through the air, which I think they certainly can do. It's not one of my favorite games on the board, but I do lean toward NC State in this particular contest. I think one of the most fascinating games today is the Mid-American Conference game, which is going to settle the MAC East and send one of these two teams to the MAC title game, and that is going to be the Western Michigan game against Toledo in Kalamazoo. Now, Toledo's only lost 2 games this season. They went to Provo, lost to BYU 55-53, and then in one of the strangest games this season, as far as I'm concerned, as a 16.5-point home favorite, they lose outright to Ohio in late October 31-26. Now, Western Michigan has been perfect this season. The Broncos have met every single challenge. A lot of people will say, well, how can you back the Broncos because they're 4-7 their last 11 at home? Well, they're 4-7 their last 11 at home because when they're taking on Akron and Bowling Green and Buffalo and Ball State at home and they're laying 25 to 35 points, it's hard to have an impressive point spread number when you're laying over 4 touchdowns in those games. So I kind of discount those ATS numbers. On the other hand, you have to acknowledge the fact that Toledo is very strong as a road dog, 12-3 against the spread. The last 15, the Rockets are getting points on the highway. 12-1 ATS, their last 13 games on the road overall. And this has been a series. The Rockets had won 5 in a row until Western Michigan won last year. But I think that even though Toledo has such great offensive balance, has such great offensive firepower, that this Western Michigan team is for real. And I think that when you look at Western Michigan, a team that opened up the season with 2 straight wins on the Big Ten Highway against Illinois and Northwestern, granted, I didn't say they were Ohio State and Michigan, but still, you open up and you win 2 Big Ten games on the road against teams that recruit better athletes than you do. That's okay as far as I'm concerned. I think they play up to the occasion. And if you're a team like Toledo and you can lose outright as a 16-point home chalk to Ohio, well, you can certainly lose by 7.5 points or so in Kalamazoo. So I would buy down the points here. I would wait, in fact. This is another one of those rare situations where, I always say normally bet the favorites early, but the underdog's late. In this particular situation, you've already seen movement from 7.5 down to 7. I would wait till the last minute if I'm betting this game. If you believe like I do that Western Michigan is the play, I would wait and see if this line moves down to a solid 7 or maybe down to even 6.5. And then either way, at 7.5 or 7, if that's where the number settles, I would go ahead and buy down the half point, and I'd go with the Broncos, who have scored at least 37 points in every single conference game this season and who won 35-30 at the Glass Bowl last year as an 8-point underdog to snap their 5-game series skid against the Toledo Rockets. So those are going to be your 2 complimentary plays. The Apple Cup, I've gone back and forth on this particular game. That's a 6-point number. It's a tough number. I lean a little towards Washington, but then I keep remembering I watched that entire Washington USC game. Boy, did they play lousy at home. But in that particular game, I'd more be inclined to take Washington 2 weeks removed from their loss as opposed to a Washington State team that folded like a cheap suit in the second half of last week's loss to Colorado on the road. Even though they're in double revenge against the Huskies, I just think that's a damn tough game to handicap. The other game that I just want to also point out and just give you a little word of warning. I'm doing this video report for you at a little after 3 a.m. Eastern time. You see Louisiana Tech today as a 14.5-point favorite at Southern Mississippi. You've probably seen some of the quotes where a couple of the Louisiana Tech players have mentioned that they would like to embarrass Southern Mississippi today because this is a big revenge game for the Bulldogs, who last year got humiliated by Southern Mississippi. It was like, let me see if I can just find it. 58-24 was the final score a year ago, 58-24. Just remember this. Louisiana Tech has covered 6 straight games. They're coming off a bye. They're rested. But will they be focused today? Because this is a nothing game for Louisiana Tech. They have already clinched their part of the Conference USA. They've already earned their spot in the Conference USA title game. Will they be inclined? Will they be totally focused? Saying that you want to embarrass your opponent is one thing, but embarrassing them and letting your coach let them go out and doing so on the road, knowing that you have bigger fish to fry with the conference championship game coming up, is it going to happen? The other thing here at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, I can't tell you, no matter how much research I've done, whether or not Nick Mullins is going to be playing quarterback today for Southern Mississippi. And that's how you have to know that information in order to bet this game. He has missed the last 2 games because of a concussion. If he doesn't play, hey, go ahead, lay the points with Louisiana Tech. If he plays, total different game here. Listen, Golden Eagles are 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games. They need to win today in order to become bowl eligible. I don't think they're going to win one way or another. But if Mullins is playing quarterback, they've got a chance offensively to keep it within the 2-touchdown spread. If he doesn't play, I don't know. Louisiana Tech may embarrass them today. So that's the situation for that one. But anyway, your 2 free picks, I'm going to go with NC State and I'm going to go with Western Michigan. And of those 2 selections, I like Western Michigan more. And remember, of course, the NFL preview show I do with Steve, the Countdown to Kickoff show, that is also available to view. Enjoy your Black Friday. If you don't want to watch football, hell, I guess you could always turn on Netflix and watch the Gilmore Girls. That's always an option for you as well. Good luck, everybody. I'll talk to you again on Saturday morning when we do this one more time.